Amongst all the news recently about automakers in trouble, Nissan in crisis, Porsche have just revealed that their profits, set to be 5 to 7% this year, down from 18% not long ago, will now fall to 2%. 2%. That's Porsche's prediction for its profits this year and next year. That, my friends, puts Porsche right on the edge. Over the last 48 to 72 hours, Porsche has revealed its strategy for its company. It says it's going to lose $6 billion because it has cancelled one of its most advanced electric car platform. It's completely changing and pivoting in so many different areas. This is actually an exceptionally confusing story. I had to read about 20 different articles to work out what the hell Porsche was saying. I don't think anyone has really summarized this story very well. And it's not their fault, because the truth is, if you look at Porsche's strategy, it is exceptionally confusing even for Porsche executives to try to explain. It is exceptionally complicated. And I think that's the best way to sum this up. It's a cluster fruit. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. I drove a Porsche Macan Turbo, which is actually an EV, bizarrely called a turbo. And I've got to tell you, that thing was a supercar. It's phenomenal. And in fact, it's Porsche's best-selling car worldwide, an EV is. I don't know why no one points this out. It's actually relevant to the story here because it shows you that Porsche's decision to move away from EVs, not completely, but largely, could be a really bad choice. Now, Porsche has obviously given up on its most important car market, which is China. And that's why Porsche is changing its strategy. I don't know why everyone's not mentioning this, but the reason Porsche is kind of going not really seriously into EVs anymore is because it has decided there's no point trying to compete in China on EVs. It's just impossible. Why bother? Its sales there are in free fall. They've crashed. I mean, dealerships are shutting. It's a situation. You could call it a crisis, except for the fact that Porsche has admitted it. Oh, well, don't worry. And if you do that, well, then you're not in a crisis anymore. But here's the thing: Porsche's profits are, well, they are collapsing. You know, wasn't long ago Porsche was making an 18% profit on its car sales. Now it's down to 6 point something percent. All right, so its profits are in free fall, and a big part of that reason is because of its increase in electric car sales. Now, Porsche, for them to say there's not enough demand for their EVs, well, a little bit misleading considering the fact that their EV sales continue to grow, yeah? But Porsche is reticent to sell a lot of EVs, really, ultimately, because it doesn't make much money selling them, if any. That's the company's challenge. It doesn't have vast production lines. It doesn't have all these big production lines manufacturing huge numbers of electric cars. So its EV production is not particularly efficient. And in addition to that, it's done silly things like started its own battery company, lost massive sums of money when it decided to cancel that project because it was just too expensive. And that was only about a month ago that it made that decision. Porsche is admitting it's leaning back into engines and hybrids. Now, I just saw a picture and a video of the new Porsche Cayenne EV, right? And that thing is an absolute weapon. It's got more than 1,000 horsepower. It's got an 800-volt architecture, 400 kilowatt fast charging. It's going to be so much better than the internal combustion version. But aside from that, Porsche is definitely diluting its strategy. Here's what they said. Today, we have set the final steps in the realignment of our product strategy. We are currently experiencing massive changes within the automotive environment. That's why we're realigning Porsche across the board. In doing so, we want to meet new market realities and changing customer demands. Now, the only real change in customer demand is not for ICE, is it? ICE sales are shrinking worldwide, basically in every market. The truth is, changing demand. EV sales are up 30% worldwide this year. So, the biggest changes. Porsche their ultra-luxury SUV positioned above the Cayenne. They're trying to make a lot of profit on this like ultra-luxury SUV. It was called the K1. That was meant to be an EV exclusively. Now it will be not EV, internal combustion and plug-in hybrid. Porsche has also cancelled their new EV platform, which they already invested huge sums of money on. In addition, Porsche will continue to make the internal combustion engine versions of the Panamera and the Cayenne, and they're going to work on those engines as well. They're going to invest large sums of money to improve those engines by probably 2 to 4%. Both models, the Panamera and the Cayenne, will return with combustion and hybrid power well into the 2030s, with Porsche confirming that successor generations will secure their place in Porsche's lineup for years to come with internal combustion engines. A third major shift concerns Porsche's other planned all-electric models without naming specific vehicles. So this is part of the confusion. The company said the delayed ramp-up of electric mobility will push back their market launches. Now, I suspect they're referring to the new Porsche convertible. The development of a dedicated next-gen EV platform was meant to underpin these models, originally scheduled for around 2030. That will no longer proceed as planned. Instead, it will be rescheduled and undergo a full redesign in collaboration with other Volkswagen Group brands. In other words, they're going to get the Chinese to make it for them. I guarantee if you ask Porsche if you ask them what I just said, is this true? They'll have to admit that it is. There's a big tie-up with XPeng here. And of course, the Volkswagen Group are going to be using the XPeng platform for new cars. Audi, look what they're doing using Zeekr's platform. That's what's going to happen. This is the company's response to the significantly slower growth of demand for exclusive battery electric cars, said Porsche. Significantly slower growth of demand. EV sales in Germany are up this year 40%, worldwide by nearly 30%. Doesn't sound slow to me, honestly, just being objective. Anyway, Porsche confirmed electric models already deep into development, such as the soon-to-be-revealed Cayenne EV in both standard and coupe form, as well as a future two-door sports car in the 718 segment, actually will continue. These changes build on earlier decisions, such as developing a new combustion engine SUV to replace the Porsche Macan. Using the current Audi Q5 architecture as its base, it will be sold alongside the Macan EV, which was planned to stand alone in the lineup. I don't know about you, but I don't see a lot of passionate interest for basically a reskinned Audi Q5. Audi's having their own troubles themselves. Their sales are falling as well, and their profits are too. Beyond product planning, Porsche acknowledged that wider global pressures are weighing on it. Rising US import tariffs, a cooling Chinese luxury market, and the slower pace of electric adoption are all shaping the company's cautious stance. The CEO conceded that the updated plan can only partially offset these problems. For example, pushing back the electric vehicle platform will require depreciation and financial provisions, which are set to weigh on operating profit in 2025 by around 1.8 billion euros or $2.1 billion at current exchange rates. So, Porsche is maintaining its sales revenue outlook of 37 to 38 billion euros or 40 to 41 billion US dollars. But profitability will be far slimmer, with returns on sales now projected at up to 2%. 2%. That's the lowest profit margin in Porsche's history that we know of. There has never been a year that we know of in the last literally 75 years where Porsche has only made 2% profit. And considering it was forecasting 5 to 7% profit, how has Porsche gone from making industry-leading margins of 18 to 2%? That is literally the definition of a crisis. One little error, a few little mistakes, and that 2% could be minus 2%. Thanks for watching. The Sydney EV International Motor Show. If you want to get a 50% discount on your tickets, all you got to do, click the link in the description and use the promotion code that's in the description. Just copy and paste that. Now, I should mention there's only 200 tickets available per day. So if you go to use the promo code and you can't get a ticket, wait till the next day. Don't wait until the day before the show to get your tickets, because otherwise you'll probably miss out on getting the 50% discount.